Hello everyone, welcome to today's news starter. The best way to prepare current affairs for the UPSC examination is to read the newspaper on your own. Because when you are preparing for prelims, mains, and interview. However, when you are reading a newspaper, you need to know which point you should be giving importance and in what way you should be analyzing the news and all these things. So this is why in News Chatter, what we will be providing you is we'll provide you a basic idea on how to analyze the news. What are the important points you should concentrate from each and every examination point of view. So let's start with today's News Chatter. Some of the important topics that were in the news are given here. Let's jump on to the first news of the day. The Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee under United Nations Environmental Program. So UNEP has formed a intergovernmental negotiating committee. The basic idea behind this committee is to prepare a global plastic treaty. So we all know that at present, one of the major problem with the pollution is the plastic pollution. All over the world, people are struggling with plastic pollution. So UNEP has come up with a committee to form a global plastic treaty by 2025. This year is important. So these kind of facts you will be getting in your prelims examination. 3 rounds of negotiations have been done. The recent one happened in Nairobi. Where did the first and second round happen? You take it as your homework. Try to find out. The first round and second round of Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee happened in which place? That is important. For an international legally binding treaty. So this is the major problem. Whenever an international treaty happens, they are not legally binding in nature, because of which the countries will not follow them properly. So now the UNEP thinks that we need to find a legally binding treaty. We need to sign up a legally binding treaty. However, this became a major hurdle because countries are not ready to give their consent to form a legally binding treaty. Because once you say that we are legally bound upon it, you will have to react also according to it. So that is a major problem. So they have created a zero draft. It contains options such as imposing a plastic pollution fee. So why have I included this point here? Because in mains examination, when you are asked with a question on how to prevent plastic pollution, you can easily write, you can introduce a plastic pollution fee. So whoever is the polluter, they can pay a fee for the amount of pollution they have done. So this is one solution to be paid by the plastic polymer producers, and another on reducing the financial flow into the projects. That is, whenever someone is asking for loan or credit to start a business related to plastic products, we should not encourage it. So two solutions are given by the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee to prevent plastic pollution globally. Number one, implement a plastic pollution fee. Second one, introduce such measures which will prevent the credit flow towards the projects which are pollutant in nature. So INC3 didn't adapt the mandate to proceed with developing the first draft. As I told, even though they gave all these ideas, countries were not ready to follow on anything. So until now, we have not found a solution. But this topic is important because in mains, you can write these points. Second one, in yesterday's newspaper, there was a topic on global positioning system. GPS is extremely important from your GS3 point of view. So what exactly does GS do and what are the constituents? GPS, Global Positioning System, was developed by the United States of America. It consists of 24 satellites which are orbiting in 6 orbits. All the orbits are around 20,200 kilometers above the Earth. So each satellite orbits the entire Earth twice in a day. So these kind of data are extremely important for prelims. It contains 3 main components. A space segment will be there, a control segment will be there, and a user segment will be there. So a user segment is those devices, those GPS devices you are having in your hand with which you can track your movement or track someone else's movement. That is user segment. Control segment and space segment. Space segment includes the satellites. Control segment is a control center which will receive the data from the space and then transmit it to the user segment. So this much information you should be knowing. Each GPS satellite continuously broadcasts a radio signal. So what kind of signals are broadcasted? Again, an important fact for prelims. Radio signals are broadcasted. The radio signal has a very good significance. It travels at the speed of light. So when it travels at a speed of light, that means the information can be provided at a very high speed. This is why whenever a person is moving from one place to another, immediately the map will also move. If you see your phone, you can very clearly understand whenever you are traveling, the GPS will move along with you because it travels at the speed of light. So immediate information can be provided. Other navigational systems which are there in the world at present: China, Australia, European Union, India, Japan, South Korea, Russia, and UK. All these countries you should be knowing because this is how the prelims questions are made. They will give certain countries and they will ask which of these countries have their own navigational system. India's navigational system is called as NAVIC, that is navigation with Indian constellation. If is India's navigational system, the NAVIC, a global navigation system? The answer is no. It is a regional navigation system. So this statement is extremely important for your prelims examination because we have satellites. 3 satellites are in geostationary orbit, 4 in geosynchronous orbit. However, we do not give information about the entire world. Most of the informations or almost all the informations are related to India and around 500 kilometer around India. So that's all. So it is a regional navigational system. Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Amendment Bill is extremely important for mains examination. You won't be getting much in prelims examination. For mains examination, for people who are attending interviews, these kind of topics are very important. First thing, in 2019, the government introduced Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act. In 2019, the government introduced Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act, in which the Article 370 was removed. And we have told that from now on, the Jammu and Kashmir state, which was existing earlier, will be divided into two. One is Jammu and Kashmir, and then the second one is Ladakh. Both will be union territories. So at present, both of them are union territories. Recently, the government introduced the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Amendment Bill. So what are the important provisions here? First thing, it increased the total number of seats. Earlier, 107 seats were there. Now they have made it 114 seats. So this provision is very important. 9 seats are reserved for scheduled tribes for the first time. So in 2019, when the act was passed, they did not reserve any seats for scheduled tribes. Now they have reserved some seats for scheduled tribes also. It empowers the lieutenant governor to nominate 3 members to the assembly. 2 members from Kashmiri migrant community, that is people who were originally residents of Kashmir, who have settled in some other states. They will be given with nomination, and then one nominee among them will be a woman, and 1 member among the people from POK. What is POK? POK is Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So people who came from the POK region and settled in India during the 1947, 1965 and 1971 war. Among them, one person can be nominated into the assembly. So these are very good steps. First thing, they have told that we are increasing the number of seats. Second one, they have reserved certain seats for scheduled tribes. Then they have reserved 3 seats in total, one of them for women and one for a Kashmiri migrant. So both these people, the woman and the man, will be from Kashmiri migrants, and then one from POK. So POK, even though it is not with us at present, it is occupied by Pakistan. Even then, it is Indian territory, it is Indian region. So we do reserve certain seats for POK also. So that is also made in this act. The reservation bill seeks to replace the term weak and unprivileged classes. Earlier, this was the term which was used for reservation. Now it has been removed and we have introduced the term other backward classes. So overall, this bill changes the administrative provisions of Jammu and Kashmir. So you should be knowing about it. In prelims, usually we don't get such questions. In mains, you will get. Global multidimensional poverty index is an extremely important topic for prelims and mains. Let me tell you for prelims what you should know and for mains what you should be knowing. If from mains point of view, the most important point you should be knowing is in 2023, when the multidimensional poverty index was released, it created a lot of controversies. What controversies were there? They told that the results are not clearly proven because the multidimensional poverty index of 2023 told that India has removed 135.5 million people from poverty in a very short period of time, that is from 2015 to 2019. So within 4 to 5 years, we have removed 135.5 million people from poverty, which is a huge accomplishment for a country. However, some problems were there. So before getting into the problem, let us look at what's the basics of multidimensional poverty index. First thing, for prelims perspective, it is published by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative and the United Nations Development Program. Extremely important prelims facts. What are the data which are included here? Health data is used, educational data is used, and then living standards data is used. So these are very important. For global multidimensional poverty index, Oxford Poverty and United Nations Development Program are taking out the data, whereas when it comes to India, the Niti Aayog is taking the data. National Multidimensional Poverty Index is released by Niti Aayog. The same 3 dimensions are included, but here the major problem is health, education, and standard of living are all given equal importance. So a lot of people tell that equal importance should not be given. Certain provisions should be given more importance than others. Apart from this, some other issues are also there. One thing, the data for multidimensional poverty index is taken from National Family Health Survey. National Family Health Survey 4 and 5 data is used. But the problem is, National Family Health Survey data itself is not all inclusive. They have a very small base. Whereas if it is a national survey, national sample survey, that means the entire country will be included here. Whereas in National Family Health Survey, the entire country is not included. So this data can be flawed. So this is one major criticism. Second one, in this period from 2015 to 2019, the GDP growth has actually declined. Earlier it was 8%, it has become 3.78%. So when the growth has declined to this level, we cannot tell that the poverty has been reduced. So there is some problem with this data. So from prelims point of view and from mains point of view, both it is important. One of the major problem which has been going on globally for a very long time period is China-Taiwan issue. In 1949, when China was taken over by the communists, before the communist takeover, there was a regime ruling there in the name of Kuomintang. So what happened after Mao took over the entire China, the Kuomintang government got shifted to Taiwan. Taiwan was a very small island. So once they shifted there, they established themselves as a separate country. Taiwan became a separate country. They called themselves as a separate country. However, China did not accept Taiwan's argument. Now, the problem between China and Taiwan is China. Sorry. The problem between China and Taiwan is China does not even consider Taiwan as a separate country, whereas Taiwan consider themselves as a separate country. China considers Taiwan belongs to China, whereas Taiwan considers we do not belong to China, we are a separate country. Now, the major problem is Taiwan is located here, right? So Taiwan is located in a very strategically important place. Taiwan is with the presence in Taiwan, China can easily control Philippines. It can easily have a hold on Japan and island regions. So all the island regions of Southeast Asia and southern China Sea region the entire southern Pacific Ocean can be in control of China. So this is the reason China wanted to have a very good influence over Taiwan. Now the problem between China and US has also become a major issue. So the present situation of Taiwan is like this, where Taiwan is located in the center. One side China is there, another side US is there. US and China are like very big elephants, and Taiwan is like a small rabbit which is stuck in between these two elephants. So that is the problem. US want to have its influence in Taiwan. China wanted to capture entire Taiwan, and even both of these countries deploy their nuclear vessels also near the Taiwan region. So this is the major issue from UPSC point of view. What you should be knowing is you should know the map. What are the borders of China? Where China is located? What are the borders of South Korea, North Korea, Japan? The borders of Taiwan, where exactly it is located? Which ocean is flowing here? Pacific Ocean. Which countries are closely located? You need to know the chronology. From north to south, what are all the countries that are coming here? From south to north, what are all the countries that are coming here? So these kind of points you should be knowing. So your homework today will be take out the map and go through the entire China, South China region. It is extremely important for your prelims examination. An important point from mains examination point of view. Recently, the global stocktake has been going on in COP28. You already know it. We have discussed it multiple times. So one point is there which you can use it in your mains answer, especially if you're getting a question on global warming. You can tell that the text of global stocktake has clearly told unless if we reduce the global temperature by 1.5 degrees Celsius within 2050, we will not be able to survive the climate change. And one of the major key to this is prevent the entire fossil fuels. Remove all the fossil fuels, then 1.5 degrees Celsius can be achieved. Mains question of the day. Let me read the question. We have already discussed the content for this yesterday in the news charter. You can, if you have missed it, you can watch yesterday's news charter. But let's see how we are going to answer the question. Explain the importance of the Assam Accord in prevention of internal security issues in northeastern part of India. So Assam Accord was signed in 1985, which we have already discussed. And with this Assam Accord, what were the advantages? What were the achievements we have got? Critically analyze the strategy of inclusion of extremist organization in talks. So extremist organizations are there. Should we include them in talks and try to resolve the issue, or should we just stop them completely? So everyone will have their own point of view, but the best approach would be first thing, introduce in the introduction itself, write what is Assam Accord, and then start with the body. In the body, you write what are the advantages and disadvantages that happened because of Assam Accord, or what are the achievements Assam Accord have done. That's all. Introduction, the achievements Assam Accord has done, and then you jump into the critically analyze part. In critical analysis, you will write if you are including extremist element, these are all the advantages, right? 3 to 4 advantages. If you are excluding them, these are all the if you are including them, these are all the disadvantages, right? 2 to 3 disadvantages. Research a little bit about it. When it comes to mains, you have to research also and then conclude it. Some important point from prelims point of view. Article 101. Article 101 is in news regularly in the recent times. It talks about the vacation of member of parliament. So in what kind of situations a member of parliament can vacate from the house? Very simple and very easy. You just have to remember all these points. One, when no person shall be a member of the house of both the house of the parliament. That is, a person, a MP can be a member of only one house of the parliament, can't be the member of both the houses of the parliament. Second point, a MP can be the member of the parliament only. He cannot be the member of a legislative assembly of a state also. Third, when someone resigns his seat by writing under his hand address to the chairman or the speaker of the house. So if someone want to resign and writes to the chairman of the speaker, and then the chairman or speaker agrees or accepts it, then he will be considered as vacated. If for a period of 60 days, if there is a MP and for 60 days continuously, if he has not attended the sessions of the house, without the permission of the chairman or the speaker, then he is considered as vacated the house, or he will be removed from the house. So in this, one important point we should be knowing, when they are considering these 60 days, all those time period in which the house is not in session for more than 4 days continuously will not be considered. This point is extremely important. Study this very well, study this clearly, because these kind of points will be asked usually in your prelims examination. So that's all for today. Have a good day. Let us meet tomorrow. All the best.